Okay, so I just wanted to create this video just as a helpful guide. So some of you guys you submitted your Medium reports, and just I thought that something else that you guys could include is for some of these more generic companies like a revenue breakdown. So what I mean by that is that um, companies, they have to report their 10Ks like I described in the other webinars, right? They have to report their 10K reports. But what they also include in these are breakdowns of their business. So these breakdowns by revenue are actually really helpful to understand like where these larger diversified companies are making their money. Companies like J&J, that's kind of the biggest one I saw with Suez. He didn't include this breakdown, and it would have been actually really nice to see. So something like that. And for today, I'm just gonna break down five different companies based on this based on their revenues and where we can find those numbers. So it is different for a lot of them, but what we do first is we're going to go to Google, the SEC, and we're going to search companies. So I was gonna do Apple, go to Apple, for the recent. I typically go to the annual one, so the 10K. Go here, we'll click that. Remember, this is where we also get our consolidated financial statements for our cash flow model, so that's also pretty cool. And then what we're going to do right now is, if it's in the notes up here, we can just click on it right away. But if not, there's an easier way to get to it. Let's see. Yeah, so it doesn't look like it. So we can just do revenue. We'll search the document for revenue. This is what I typically do. Let's see. Here it is. So this just shows right away our net sales for each year, but then it also does a breakdown by which segment is where they're making their money. So from the iPhone, they're doing 200, let's see, would it be, I believe it's, I want to say billion in revenue, if that's right. Let me think about that. Yeah, 000. Yeah. 200 billion in revenue from their iPhone business. 29 billion from Macs, and then 28 billion from iPad. 39 billion from the wearables, homes, and accessories, and then their services makes up $85 billion of the total net sales. So why this is important though is that like let's say you're doing a company like Suez did. So he did Johnson Johnson, and this is just, same thing. I just went to the SEC, I looked up their 10K, I found it, and then I looked for the revenue again. Let's see for that. And then here I found it down here, right? But these segments are actually really important for companies like Johnson Johnson because obviously we know it's just a pharmaceutical company, but we don't know like specifically what their biggest parts are, what the biggest amounts of money that they're making. Like, are they making a lot of money from their diabetes drugs? Are they making a lot from their, I don't know, COVID-19 medicine? So like something like that can actually really help you understand like what segment is going to be release the most amount of like revenue and growth for the company. So we can scroll down to here. Now Johnson and Johnson, they submit their stuff like this. So they break it down. We do total immunology. I can't say that, I'm sorry. But just right here, we can see the breakdown of each drug. I don't even want to try and pronounce some of these, but we can look at how much they're making from each drug, each disease type, each part of their business, oncology. pulmonary hypertension, and then that's just a good summary. I don't think they have anything else here. Oh, they do. Looks like they have surgery stuff, orthopedics. But I mean, if you were to actually like read this, you can really get an understanding of that. And that's kind of like what like people like Warren Buffett and stuff like that to actually read through this whole thing. And they'll better understand that. But you guys definitely can improve your reports just by looking at these breakdowns. It really does a great job. Because like for example, Suez, he could have said like, oh, surgery is a really big part of their business. So then he could say something about how the market for surgery or whatever, the market for surgery pharmaceuticals is increasing. Um, how, for example, I'm just making this up, but one of the components of, let's say, a drug for surgery, it's rising in price. How is the company going to like handle this, stuff like that? I mean, that's really specific, but that's really something you can include. I'm just gonna do a few more companies just because it isn't always the same way that you find this stuff. So we'll do Microsoft. But really, like, so like I did Lithium Americas as one of my reports a while ago. And the thing with that is obviously we know what the company is doing. If they're only making money from lithium. So like realistically, I don't really need to break down revenue like that. I'm trying to think like other examples. I mean, most companies have like different segments. Really just small ones. Typically, they'll be more like specialized. So like Microsoft, of course, we know they do a lot of stuff. So let's see. See if we can find this breakdown. Oh, there's a lot of stuff here. Let's see, too aggressive. Mhm. So yeah, it is a little hard to find some of this stuff. But this is how I do it. I'm sure there's an easier way to do it, but a lot of companies phrase stuff differently. Oh, here we go. Segment results of operation. Yeah, so here we go. We got our productivity and business processes, our intelligent cloud business, and then our more the personal computing. So that's all of the revenues broken down, and they also do a good job. They actually include the breakdown of the incomes too from each segment. And like, let's say I don't know what intelligent cloud is. What I can look for is just look up intelligent cloud in the thing, and somewhere I can find a description about what is intelligent cloud. What are they classifying as intelligent cloud? So here it is, stuff like that. All right. But we can go back. So, whoops, segment. I think it was just called segment results. Just want to go back there. Yeah, there we go. But we can go back here and you can look up more personal computing. What is that? We can look up each part. And yeah, I don't think there was anything else on this one. Yeah, I just wanted to do like two more for you guys. I'm trying to think. Let's see. Let's think of some big companies. I don't think Walmart would be any different. Let me think about this. Oh, Facebook would be good one. Some Meta, they definitely have a distribution. They obviously have their products like the Oculus, of course, their web services. Let's see. We'll do Lockheed Martin. It's our last one. But let's do this Facebook first. So this again, Facebook, this is their 10K, their annual report. And we're looking for that diversification again. revenues. Find it. Oops, let's see. Don't think we have anything here yet. We've got some ad revenue information. Oh, let's see. Whoops, nothing here. Hmm. Oh, wait. Yep. So here it is. So revenue. The following table sets forth our revenue by source and by segment. So we can see that they're making a majority of their money from family of apps. So I don't really know what that is. I'll look it up in a second. And they're also making a lot of money from their advertising. I'm guessing Reality Labs is their virtual reality. Just gonna take a guess. Oh, they actually do the description thing as well. Let's see. It should be up here. I'll just look it up. I would like to know what family of apps is. I'm guessing it's Facebook, Facebook, Meta, or not Meta, sorry, Facebook, Instagram, stuff like that. Let's see. Yep. So that's all of the products. Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, Threads, WhatsApp. So those four make up that segment of the business. All right, so that's really not that hard to do though. Like we could have went on that when you're doing your report, copied that information and put it on a report, and then went further into each part of the business. That's basically the idea I'm going for. So next, let's do Lockheed Martin, just before I sum this video up. Let's see, look up for revenue. Most companies break down their revenue, which is really nice on these reports. It's pretty rare to not see this stuff. Let's see. Maybe not. They do. I'm pretty. I don't see. Review. You can look up for segments and see. Oh, looks like yep. Here they are. Here they are. So the segments, they actually break this down a little bit differently. Looks like they were breaking this down based on ownership and government. I'm not really certain on Lockheed Martin whole their organization of the business. Obviously, they're really big on government contracts, so it's a little bit different. Let's see if we can see. Not here. Not here. Segment. Oh, here it is. Yep. So, like I said, sales and operating profits for each of our business segments were as follows. We can see for each year. So aeronautics for 2022, they made 26 billion 987 million dollars from that. And you can see those breakdowns. So what I would do, I'll just show you right now, is if I was you guys, well, I do this actually. I obviously make reports too. What I typically do is I'll take that, use my snipping tool, copy, and then I have that right there, all of that distribution. And then from there, I can look further into each part of the business, the more important parts and the less important parts. And I think that's going to wrap up our video. That's really all I wanted to show. Just use the SEC and then the annual reports to break down those revenues. And that's it. Thank you.